not going to tell you to delete your apps. I'm not deleting my apps. I'm not going to give you the dopamine detox lecture. Probably heard it. I've heard it. We know the phone is a slot machine. This isn't about addiction. It's about colonization. I tried to get quiet recently. I tried to hear my own voice. And what I found wasn't silence. It was a chorus of other people's words, other people's takes, other people's outrage. Opinions that, if I think about it, I can't even really trace back to a single experience or learning that I've actually had. And I thought, when the hell did all these people move in? I don't remember giving them the keys. And where did I go? Where are my opinions? Where's my deep thinking on this topic? Think about how human beings used to form opinions. You read a book, you watched the news, you listened, you had conversations. And then there was a processing gap. If you walked into a kitchen, your living room, you drove to work, lay in bed, thinking about it. And in that gap, your brain processed. And maybe you argued with the idea. You tested it against your own life. You decided if it was true. And that gap is where the thinking happens. And thinking isn't necessarily the input, it's the digestion, processing. And it seems that maybe the feed eliminated the digestion, the processing, because the feed is designed to remove that gap of time. Content enters at the speed of light, and the next piece of content arrives even before you finish processing the first one. So you don't really get to think about it. You just ingest it. You scroll here, believe, integrate. Scroll here, believe, integrate. There's not a whole lot of analysis there. You're probably not really forming opinions. You're downloading firmware updates, software updates, probably more like firmware updates. And now, because we're in 2026, it's gotten worse. Why? Because a huge percentage of the feed isn't even coming from people anymore. It's coming from AI models that are trained on the feed, generating content that sounds like the feed, designed to keep you in the feed. Now, I want you to really sit on that. You know that hot take you just read, or the one that really pissed you off, the one that you about to go repeat to a friend or would like share to a friend. Maybe that's just the statistical average of outrage, which has been generated by some machine to maximize engagement. You're absorbing a simulation of human thought, and it's showing up in your head wearing your own voice. It's terrifying. If you can't tell the difference between your thoughts and an algorithm's suggestion, you've lost the most important territory you own, your own personal inner life. And here's the cost. It's not just that we're distracted, it's that we've lost the ability to disagree. Maybe to think, but definitely the ability to disagree. Because when we sit across from a real person who disagrees with us, our brain has to do something difficult. It has to be able to hold two realities at once, maybe more, but let's just say two. And it has to manage that tension. It has to look them in the face and realize that maybe they're not a monster. And that tension is a muscle. But when we're looking at the feed, there's no face. So there's no tension. It's just like or block. And we probably have atrophied that muscle that allows us to handle difference. And maybe this is why every disagreement feels like a war now. And maybe this is why we're so fragile. Certainty's never been a challenge. Certainty that has never been challenged isn't conviction. It's fragility. We're walking around with glass jaws, terrified that one fact is going to shatter our entire worldview. Now, there's a tradition or a concept of the nematon, the sacred grove. It's a clearing in the forest. It's not a building. It's a space that is kept clear so that the ordinary world can't creep in. And this allows us to allow something else to be heard. Inner guidance, inner wisdom, extraterrestrial wisdom, God, the universe. Something other than other people from the ordinary voice. The idea is, with thinking, the way the human being is probably designed, our mind is supposed to be this nematon, a clearing, a space where you can go to hear your own mind, where we can go and hear our own signal. But we let the marketplace set up shop. And now it's not a clearing. We let the pundits, the influencers, the advertisers, the algorithm fills every single square inch of silence. And we have no clearing left. And without a clearing, you can't have a self. You can only have a feed. So, what do? Now, the opposite of the feed isn't silence. And silence can maybe be too hard. The opposite of the feed is choosing. Read a book that you choose, not because it's trending. Walk in, take a look, something that catches your attention. Make something with your own hands. Write something down that nobody's ever going to read. Have a conversation where you might be wrong, or that might piss you off. Your mind was yours well before the feed, well before the constant news cycle, well before the non-stop chatter, argumentation, and anonymity. And your mind is still yours. But maybe it's been occupied for so long that we might need to spend some time clearing it out, fighting the phone, remembering what it feels like to have a thought that didn't come from a server, from a chat group, from a collective. That clearing, it's still there. Don't fill it. I'll see you in the next one.